16U, enthusiasm. The strong line in the fourth place. Sorry, let me start again. Above the arousing thunder, below the receptive earth. Right, the strong line in the fourth place, that of the leading official, meets with the response and obedience from all the other lines, which are all weak. The attribute of the upper trigram, excuse me, better out than in, because I've got my head shaved. Right, the attribute of the upper trigram, Chen, is movement. The attribute of Kun, the lower, are obedience and devotion. This begins a movement that meets with devotion and therefore inspires enthusiasm, carrying all with it. Of great importance, furthermore, is the law of movement along the line of least resistance. Movement along the line of least resistance, which in this hexagram is enunciated as the law for natural events and for human life. This is interesting. The judgment, enthusiasm. It furthers one to install helpers and to set armies marching. I think we've done that. The time of enthusiasm derives from the fact that there is at hand an eminent man who is in sympathy with the spirit of the people and acts in accord with it. Hence he finds universal and willing obedience. To arouse enthusiasm, it is necessary for a man to adjust himself and his ordinances to the character of those whom he has to lead. The inviolability of the natural law rests on this principle of movement along the line of least resistance. These laws are not forces external to things, but represent the harmony of movement, or even harmony of movement immanent in them. That is why the celestial bodies do not deviate from their orbits, and why all events in nature occur with fixed regularity. It is the same with human society. Only such laws are rooted in popular sentiment. Only such laws as are rooted in popular sentiment can be enforced, while laws violating this sentiment merely arouse resentment. Again, it is enthusiasm that enables us to install helpers for the completion of an undertaking without fear of secret opposition. It is enthusiasm, too, that can unify mass movements, as in war, so that they achieve victory. The image. Thunder comes resounding out of the earth, the image of enthusiasm. Thus the ancient kings made music in order to, or even in order to honor merit, and offered it with splendor to the supreme deity, inviting their ancestors to be present. When, at the beginning of summer, thunder, electrical energy, comes rushing forth from the earth again, and the first thunderstorm refreshes nature, a prolonged state of tension is resolved. Joy and relief make themselves felt. So too, music has power to ease tension within the heart and to loosen the grip of obscure emotions. The enthusiasm of the heart expresses itself involuntarily in a burst of song, in dance, and rhythmic movement of the body. From immemorial times, the inspiring effect of the invisible sound that moves all hearts and draws them together has mystified mankind. Rulers have made use of this natural taste for music. They elevated and regulated it. Music was looked upon as something serious and holy, designed to purify the feelings of men. It fell to music to glorify the virtues of heroes and thus to construct a bridge to the world of the unseen. In the temple, men drew near to God with music and pantomimes. Out of this later the theatre developed. Religious feeling for the creator of the world was united with the most sacred of human feelings, that of reverence for the ancestors. The ancestors were invited to these divine services as guests of the ruler of heaven and as representatives of humanity in the higher regions. This uniting of the human past with the divinity in solemn moments of religious inspiration established the bond between God and man. The ruler who revered the divinity and the ruler who revered the divinity in revering his ancestors. The ruler who revered the divinity in revering his ancestors became thereby the Son of Heaven, in whom the heavenly and the earthly world met in mystical contact. Tell me about it. These ideas are the final summation of Chinese culture. Confucius said, or has said, of the great sacrifice at which these rites were performed, he who could wholly comprehend this sacrifice could rule the world as though it were spinning on his hand. The lines, 6 at the beginning means enthusiasm that expresses itself brings misfortune. A man in an inferior position has aristocratic connections about which he boasts enthusiastically. This arrogance inevitably invites misfortune. Enthusiasm should never be an egotistic emotion. It is justified only when it is a general feeling that unites one with others. 6 in the second place means firm as a rock, not a whole day. Perseverance brings good fortune. This describes a person who does not allow himself to be misled by any illusions. Thank you very much. Yeah? While others, you lot out there, are letting themselves be dazzled by enthusiasm, he recognizes with perfect clarity the first signs of the time. Thus, he neither flatters those above nor neglects those beneath him. He is as firm as a rock. When the first sign of discord appears, he knows the right moment for withdrawing, does not delay even for a day. Perseverance in such conduct will bring good fortune. Confucius says about this line, "To know the seeds that is divine indeed." In this, or rather, in his association with those above him, the superior man does not flatter. In his association with those beneath him, he is not arrogant, for he knows the seeds. The seeds are the first imperceptible beginnings of movement, or even are the first imperceptible beginning of movement. The first trace of good fortune or misfortune that shows itself. The superior man perceives the seeds and immediately takes action. He does not wait even a whole day. In the Book of Changes it is said, "Firm as a rock, not a whole day. Perseverance brings good fortune." Firm as a rock, what need of a whole day? The judgment can be known. The superior man knows what is hidden and what is evident. He knows weaknesses, or rather he knows weakness, he knows strength as well. Hence the myriads look up to him. 6 in the third place means enthusiasm that brings upward creates. Enthusiasm that looks upward creates remorse. Hesitation brings remorse. The line is the opposite of the preceding one. The latter bespeaks self-reliance, while here there is enthusiastic looking up to a leader. If a man hesitates too long, this also will bring remorse. The right moment for approach must be seized. Only then will he do the right thing. 9 in the fourth place means the source of enthusiasm. He achieves great things. Doubt not. You gather friends around you as a hair clasp gathers the hair. This describes a man who is able to awaken enthusiasm through his own sureness and freedom from hesitation. He attracts people because he has no doubts and is wholly sincere. Owing to his confidence in them, he wins their enthusiastic cooperation and attains success. Just as a clasp draws the hair together and holds it, so he draws men together by the support he gives them. 6 in the fifth place means persistently ill and still does not die. Here enthusiasm is obstructed. A man is under constant pressure, which prevents him from breathing freely. However, this pressure has its advantage. It prevents him from consuming his powers in empty enthusiasm. Thus, constant pressure can actually serve to keep one alive. 6 to the top means deluded enthusiasm, but if after completion one changes, there is no blame. It is a bad thing for a man to let himself be deluded by enthusiasm, but if this delusion has run its course and he is still capable of changing, he is freed of error. A sober awakening from false enthusiasm is quite possible and very favorable. So saith the Book of Changes, I Ching.